Welcome to the John 3:16 Stories of Hope podcast, where we talk to people who have overcome addiction and alcoholism at John 3:16 Ministries. I'm your host, Lisa Fisher. Now let's hear another inspiring story from a resident or graduate of John 3:16 Ministries. All right, who's back up to the microphone? The magic microphone. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Morgan Wiley, and I'm from Stuttgart.
Morgan Wiley from Stuttgart. I feel like everybody's from Stuttgart.
Yeah, it's a lot of us
I'm
here.
not kidding.
Yeah.
Tell me your story, Morgan. How old are you?
I'm 31.
You've got beautiful skin, so you've
Oh,
taken
thank
good
you.
care of it no matter what you've done. Tell me your story of overcoming your demons and addictions.
Well, I definitely coming here was overcoming them. I was a meth addict for the past
Wow.
15 years. Yeah, and it became the love of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are, how old you said? 31?
hmm
So you were 16 years old and you started using meth?
I would say 17, around
And
17.
what interested you? What were you running from?
Well, actually, so the first couple of times I tried it, it wasn't a problem because I was still in high school, and I don't even really mention this much, and I just tried it, and then
Out of curiosity.
yes, yes, and it was being around older kids, and after I graduated high school and all those things, so my mom died when I was 9, and I was raised by my grandparents. So
Where was
when
your
I
father?
so he wasn't present,
Okay.
after
So you were raised by a single mother.
well, so he was present, here and there. Okay,
Oh.
so they got married around maybe a year before she died, and but it was
Oh.
in and out up until then, and then
Yeah,
after
I'm
that
sorry.
yeah, and after that, it's kinda like he died, but not really. He wasn't present.
Yeah.
I've talked to him from time to time, since, and I just feel like that, there's some healing he needs done,
Right.
because he didn't step up and wasn't a father. They were actually in a car wreck together when
Wow.
and she passed away.
Wow, what a story. Were they abusing substances?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's a heavy story, girl. So you did have some pain you were running from when
Mhm.
you took that first hit of any, whether it's alcohol or drugs.
Yeah,
You had curiosity, but you were also wondering what can numb this pain.
right, right. Most definitely.
Um, so your grandparents have this angel of a granddaughter whom they adore.
Yeah.
And then with meth, it goes dark probably pretty quickly. It's whereas alcohol, sometimes people say I kind of hit it or other drugs, but meth, you're all in pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you know, in the beginning, I thought I was hiding it, but
Right.
they had their assumptions, and then it just was you could not. There's no way I was hiding that I was doing meth. The people I hung out around, all the things, all the signs were there.
And what are those signs in case anybody's listening, wondering?
I eat all the way down to your fidgeting, the body movement, the late hours, my hours changed. I always was consistent in keeping a job, and then that stopped. And my physical appearance.
And is that just disheveled? Do you lose the teeth? I mean, or is that an exaggeration?
I mean, for some people, yeah. So that didn't necessarily happen to me, but I lost a whole lot of weight.
Yeah,
I got
just
skinny.
and do you get the what are they on the face that people show? Are they sores or
Sores. Yeah.
and what's that
Yeah.
from? I've never understood that.
I think it's just like you get a little acne like normal not on drugs do, and then you just can't leave it alone.
Oh, so you start picking at it yourself.
Yeah.
The fidgety, is that part of the fidgety?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was obvious by your appearance you were a drug user.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're 17. About when did your parents start, or your grandparents start confronting you, saying, "Sweetie, what's going on?"
Well, I would say my addiction started when I was really around 19 is when
Okay.
I was
Were
in
you out of the
19 and
house by
20.
then?
No, no.
Oh, then they
So by
saw
the
it.
time
Oh.
I was 20, 21, I was already headed to prison because my addiction took a hold that fast. I cut off all my hair. I lost a lot of weight.
Were
And then
you
I
uh, stealing at that point, and that's why you went to prison, or trafficking?
stealing, yes.
Stealing.
Mhm.
That's a common, I guess, issue, is that you have to get the drugs, and to get the drugs, you have to steal
Yes.
things to sell them.
Mhm.
So your first time in prison, you were 21?
Yes. Maybe 20. I think I turned 21 in prison.
Wow. And then, because this is not what grandparents sign up for.
No.
Grandparents sign up for taking you to the park and maybe to a beach trip or camping, and I'm saying that in all seriousness now as a
Yeah.
grandparent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So their hearts were broken because they knew they couldn't fix what hurt you.
Yeah.
Um, they were brokenhearted when you went to prison.
Oh, absolutely. They were brokenhearted before that. So raising me after my mom died. But see, they were already raising me because I was always my grandma's baby.
Is that
S
right?
Yes, and I think a lot of her heart being broken came from the fact that she couldn't fix me, and
No.
she
Mm-mm.
thought it was her fault, and, as an addict, you want to convince them that it's their fault because in your sick
Yeah,
mind.
not your responsibility for
Yeah,
sure. And
yeah,
because of
like
them, I
yeah,
know.
yeah. So, yeah.
So you go to prison. Do they come see you? Were you up in Newport at the women's
No,
facility?
not the first time, no, ma'am. I went to Fayetteville.
Wrightsville, or Fayetteville, that's right.
Fayetteville.
I forgot
Mhm.
Fayetteville had a women's prison.
Yeah.
So did they come see you?
My grandma and my aunt did a few times. In that point, they thought that they had a little slither of hope that this prison trip would break me.
Fix you.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, like this is gonna be it. So they put money on my books. They were very supportive, but the whole time I always kept the reservations of my next relapse. You
You
know,
really
po-
did?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Uh,
they sober you up, though, dry you out in prison. I mean,
mhm,
I know that there's a lot of drug use in prison. I'm not naive, but you
mhm.
really walked in, and for probably a time, you were clean.
Yes, and part of me wanted a better life, but I
Yeah.
just wasn't ready. The people I still wanted to hang out with the same people.
You
Even in
really
pri
did, even though you knew it was just rock bottom in your life. Is it because it's familiar?
Well, it's because it really wasn't my rock bottom. I still
Got it.
was young,
Got it. Yeah.
I thought at that time that it was actually cool that now I have a ADC number, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
because
never
that's
even
how
thought of it that
sick.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how sick and the people you hang out with, uh, "Oh, you go to prison where you get these stripes." Does that make a little sense? Like,
Yeah, for
you have a
sure.
little credit, so
Yeah,
that
street
it
cred. Yeah.
yeah, and it just wasn't my rock bottom.
Yeah. So this is 2021. How long, I guess that was a felony, so how much time you spend in prison for that first felony?
Almost a little bit over a year.
And were you using drugs in prison?
No.
No.
No, so
Okay.
the one in, Fayetteville is actually a RPF, so
What
it's
does that
not
stand
like
for?
regional, punishment facility. It's
Oh.
more like a drug treatment center, but it's not.
Oh, it's not a
Yeah.
true Department of Correction well, it is because you're part of the Department of Corrections, but
Yeah,
it's
you're still in prison, but it's a little different. It's a lot more structured. You have classes, you learn about thinking errors and all those things. They give you all that's where I grew up. I will say that. In RPF going then, I did mature a lot. I may have had the reservations that I was still gonna go out and use again. I might not
so
end up.
you really knew when you were in there, this was just a holding cell, or a place before you go back and use again. You knew you were going to use again.
Yes. There was a
Huh.
part of me that thought, okay, yeah, I can go out and do this. I'm gonna live a better life. But I got out, paroled out to my grandmother's house, same town, same people. It
Yeah,
wasn't
which
even
is
a week.
terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't
Is
even a
that
week.
right?
Hmm.
And how quickly, because it's the one hit on that pipe and you're back at it.
Yeah. Yep.
You're back in addiction, right?
Full blown.
And then let's say you're about 21 at this time. How long before she figured it out and said, Morgan, what are you doing?
So the thing is with me, when I'm using, you will not see me. My family will not see me at this point. That's how,
You kind of go
because
underground, you go
yes,
dark, don't.
well, yeah, and it's so much shame. So that's when the
Oh,
shame and guilt really kicked in, because I may have had those reservations, but I also did mature enough to know that I am capable of having a better life. And so
oh.
that round right there, I just they never saw me. So getting a chance to confront me wasn't ever available for her
Hmm.
until
So
I went back to
but you
jail.
were in Stuttgart the whole time.
So here, okay. I was actually in Fordyce. That's where I grew up at. But the last 10 years I've been in Stuttgart.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, okay.
yes, but I ended up in Stuttgart. That's when I ended up in going to Stuttgart and ended up living there. And that's how MIAL was from her, because she had no idea I went from Fordyce to Stuttgart until I was back in jail.
So you went back to the Department of Corrections,
Um, yes, yep, I did.
burglary charges again,
I
or
didn't. It
drug
was a
use,
drug charge.
drug charge then.
Hmm.
And those are all felonies. So
Hmm.
you were on probation, you have a judge, you have a parole officer, and they're all going, Morgan, what are you thinking? Or do they even ask you? Do they even care?
Not,
No,
not at that time. Um, because I think those people, judges and prosecutors, they aren't really called to care. That's not their job. But I will say,
you're right.
yeah, I will say this last time I went to court, though, before I came here, it was definitely a different situation, because they did care. She did ask me, "Hey, what's going on?" And that's how I ended up getting to come to John 3:16, because I presented to him, like, I keep going back to prison. I keep going back to Arkansas County, doing 120-day sanctions, and I've never asked for help. I actually I have. I went to a rehab before, but I knew this time was different, because I was done, and then everybody that had enabled me, or I every bridge I had, I burnt, and I
Hmm.
knew that. I knew that this time, and I thank God for it, because I was finally done, because I didn't have anywhere else to run.
Okay. So are you under the care and watch of the Department of Corrections now being there?
So I was court ordered here,
Court
but
ordered. Okay.
yeah, I graduated in September and stayed as an instructor.
Oh, so you have graduated. You're no longer a resident.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
because sometimes we talk to the residents there.
Mhm.
So how long have you been there? How long were you a resident? 6 months or
6 months, yes, ma'am. I came March, 14th of 25.
all right. And from Arkansas County?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love that it not all the I don't know if Pulaski County yet. I'm in Little Rock, the capital. Um, if Pulaski County has a relationship yet with John 316 Ministries. I know some of the other counties do. I know some in Mississippi send kids there, kids and adults.
Uh,
And then I know Independence County and Mountain Home, a few other areas near there. So I love that they have that relationship because it gives people a choice. But now, did they ask you if you wanted to come? Because this is a Christ-centered rehab. It is not just, and I don't even think they call it rehab. It's a program to help you get to know Jesus. And in the
yes,
interim,
absolutely.
you quit your drug use.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they did not ask me, but I had always heard about John 3:16, and I have my peer
How?
special. Well,
Through
in Arkansas County, there's a peer specialist named Jennifer Smith, and she's really big in the recovery community,
good.
and she's a very big supporter of John 3:16, and I kept hearing people talk about it before I went to jail this last time. I coulda went to prison, did the same thing I always do, got back out, did the same thing, but I just was really tired. I have a 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, my word. I was gonna ask you if you had children. Yeah.
Yeah, so this last time, um, I can't pinpoint or say this or that happened, but, something in me was done. I didn't have it in me anymore. So I reached out to Jennifer, and, I didn't even say John 3:16. I just said I wanted help. But I always heard about John 3:16. You always hear about John 3:16. And, so actually I was on, my 5th revocation, and that usually doesn't happen.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that usually doesn't happen, and,
Oh my gosh.
they told
Now
me this was it.
and where's that baby now?
My grandmother has her.
Your grandmother is now raising her great-granddaughter.
Mhm.
Your grandmother is an I hope she listens to this
Yeah.
podcast, this
Yeah, me
episode,
too. Yeah.
and, what's her name?
Wendy.
Okay, I'm gonna start crying. Wendy, I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love what you're doing.
Mhm.
That she I'm just telling you as a grandmother now, that's a sacrifice to raise your grandchildren, and then to come in and say, "And I'm gonna raise my grandchild's child
Yeah.
because I want her to have a better life."
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. She's nothing short of a angel on earth,
No,
you know
she
what I
is.
mean? Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
How old is she? Do you know?
She's in her
60s?
late 60s.
Okay. Well, that I'm telling you, I'm in my 60s. That takes a
Mhm.
lot of energy to chase after a 3-year-old all day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and she does it because she loves you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, um, w so when did you come to know Jesus through all this? I mean, you get to
I
know him
was
pretty well living there.
Yeah, yeah, you do. So when I came here, when I say I was broken, that's just that's a light term for me. I was shattered. I was beat
Oh.
down, I had no worth. And I found Jesus when I started class here. Um, when you really open up and you really learn
Ah,
the word of God and how he
mm,
really was there all along. And that's why and I when I found him, the shame and guilt I carried all these years and especially after I had my daughter and still could not stop. When I
ah.
figured out that I didn't have to carry that shame and guilt, and then there was somebody that the the price was paid, and, I'm not called to carry that, then that's when I found Jesus and I gave it to him. When I really fully, truly surrendered, my life changed. There was nothing that here was too hard. There was no job I was asked to do that was too hard that I wasn't willing to do, because when I learned what he did for me, I was willing to do anything at that point, and it has truly changed my life.
Now this is a big question, but you are at a point, Morgan, where you can get reunited and restore what's your baby girl's name?
Skylar,
Where you can get reunited with Skylar. W
yeah.
what's it gonna take? Do the courts come in at this point and decide whether or not you can reconcile? Or do you have the ability to take the next step and have her back in your life?
Um, so I do have a relationship with her. And I get to visit with her when they come to visit with me. And so even after just explain it like this so it makes more sense. After I became an instructor, I had to settle another kind of shame and guilt, and that was staying here.
Oh,
Um, Instead of leaving and going to be a mom. But you have to learn hard truths and you have to keep it real with yourself. And the real of that is I wasn't going to be able to walk out of here and go be a mom.
you weren't ready.
No. And even though I do have the ability to leave here today, move to my grandma's house, be a mom, that's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to my grandma. And when I have a plan and could see the future, and because God's not a God of confusion,
I
you
know.
know, and I love what I do here. And my relationship with my daughter is exactly what it's supposed to be right now. You know, I get to FaceTime her, I get to buy her backpack for school. She knows I'm her mom. She loves coming to visit. You know, and for me, I have made a peace with, if no matter what it looks like years from now, if my grandma raises her till the day she dies, then I'm okay with that. You know, because I did make those decisions to where it looks like this. And I will forever be grateful for what I do get with her. But I just will never up and just leave John 3:16 because I think I need to go be a mom. And I had to swallow that, and I was okay with that. And what I'm doing now is a story of hope to other women uh that I lead, guide, and direct every day, because I do love what I do here. And the day I'm supposed to go out and be a mom again, hands on, I'll know it.
I think every mother could hear that and
Yeah.
hear, I mean, put ourselves in your shoes. And it's a more mature decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Your maturity, because you were talking about 17, you dabbled in drugs, 18, you said you grew up a lot at 19. At 31, you're wiser than some women I know who are 61.
Thank you.
You have a lot of battle scars to prove it. And Jesus died for all of them.
That's right.
The Bible says as far as the east is from the west is our
Yeah.
sin. So I don't know why this has affected me so much. It's just because the decisions you're making are the best for everybody involved.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And they're not easy, you
I
know.
can't even imagine.
Yeah, no, I mean, because I would love to just go get my daughter and live this beautiful life, but that's not reality. I don't even, it's just not.
Well, you're also explaining something, that the maturation process, the maturity process. I mean, yesterday my quiet time was Jesus saying, "I'm the vine," you know, and that we are pruned. And when we're pruned, we bloom a beautiful things come from that, right?
That's right.
But
Yes, ma'am.
if you've ever pruned anything in your yard, it's ugly for a minute. The rose
Yeah.
bush is ugly.
Yeah.
But come the rain and the sunlight that God directs and the bees that pollinate, then we have beautiful blooms.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've just been through a pruning process, and you are going to have beautiful fruit and blooms. But there's some maturity that continues that is still needed. And you have the wherewithal to see that, to be objective, to say, you know what? Now's not the time.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
And that you will be restored with your family.
Mhm. Yeah.
You have a beautiful story. I try to get our listeners to know the names of the kids that these moms that are away from, because you're not the only one, as you know.
Mm-mm.
And that if people to remember to pray for Skylar, because he loves her more than you do.
Yeah, that's sure right. Yes.
It
Yes, ma'am.
fascinates me all the time to think about God's love for me, but God loves my children and my
Yes.
grandchildren more than I do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'll see when you have grandchildren, you'll go, Lord, how? Because he does.
Mhm.
He knows how many hairs are on Skylar's head, and yours
Yes,
too.
ma'am.
So I'm sorry, I'm just a blubbering mess.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry I'm
Yeah.
not grown up enough myself, but thank you so much for sharing your story. I want people
Yes,
to
ma'am.
remember to pray for Skylar. And Morgan, I can't wait to see what big things God is going to continue to do in your life. Thanks for sharing your story today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the John 3:16 Stories of Hope podcast, highlighting the community at John 3:16 Ministries in Charlotte, Arkansas. Be sure to share the episode. If you need more information, hop on their website, john316thecure.com, or find them on social media.